Welcome back to Giro3 YouTube channel. In this video, it's more of a point. This is an instructional video on how to install my upgraded yLED-ac into HyGain and CDE rotator controllers. So basically, it's still the same board that goes into the Yaesus in the AC versions. So we have a full bridge rectifier on board. We have a 470 microfarad capacitor. We have a load resistor, protection resistor. We also have a trim pot, a Cermat trim pot. This trim pot has been changed to a 5K instead of the 1K in the other versions. We have our 3 LEDs, 1, 2, 3. We have our modified stick-on feet, which are actually screwed to the board. So basically everything is basically the same as what goes with the all-mother yLED versions, except these ones, the LEDs, are in a slightly different position. They're moved back further as far as I can get them, and they're actually, you probably can't see it, they're on more of an angle too as well. So basically this is going to be a how to install it video basically. So basically first thing you're going to need to have is a screwdriver, a little baby screwdriver to adjust the brightness. I'll show you how to do it later on. A normal screwdriver under your casings. A spanner. This one here is about 9mm, but I don't know what that is, an imperial, whatever that is. A soldering iron, because you're going to need that. Because I had to put flying leads on here and had to get rid of the terminal block because it was pointless having it there. So, okay, so first thing we need to do is, first off, unplug it, turn it off and unplug it. Undo your 4 top screws, remove the top casing and get that out of the road. I'll move this over here on the road. Let's just moving forward. First thing we need to do is get our spanner and we're going to undo the nut for the bar. Now if you have a version that has a PCB down in here, you may have to lift it up and around and over to get it down the road. Just make sure the bulb holder is all the way out of the road. Do it back up on top of the transformer. Grab Mr. Bulb. Don't need that anymore. Chuck that. And basically we can now move forward. Righty-o-ty. Let's turn him around so I'll show you what's going on. Mr. Bulb wants to go back in. Get out of there, Bulb. So basically we come here like this. So basically what the idea of this is, we are getting the edges of the 2 stick-on pads to sit directly on top of the edge of this. So this center LED, that one in the middle here, should be directly over north, and there is a little cutaway dimple in the back of the lens, which is part of the clipping mechanism for the front lens. And also there's on the middle of the cowling there's a recess with some part numbers, I do believe. So do a trial test first, maybe get the actual wires out of the road. And the whole idea is for it to basically sit it directly on top of the edge of that, and this edge here is basically level with the outside edge. That will bring your LED smack bang above north. So basically when you sit it there for the first test, just have a look across from the back to the front of from the back to the front front panel, and make sure the PCB is not above the front panel. That would not be a good thing. So if you just push down and make sure it's going to sit there well and it's not up too high, you know, just look straight across the back here towards the front. So basically if that all looks good, what we need to do then is we just peel off the little 3M protectors. We very gently get ourselves realigned again in those positions. I tend to lean it away so I can actually get things to sit properly. So we sit it in there in the middle, hard against the bottom there, against that edge, and then roll him back and go sticky stick stick. And now like that, where that part's done, we spin him back around. I should have got my soldering iron going. Now you might notice the wires are different lengths. The short one goes to the front, whichever one happens to be at the front, and the long one goes to the back. So it's quite simple, except I have to solder these things. These wires are not long enough to get over here. Would have normally cut those off and just put them straight in there, but they're not long enough, so we're just going to have to deal with and have to solder it, I'm afraid. I'd prefer to use screw terminals, but you can't do that. So I've already pre-tinned these wires, so clean your soldering iron and basically put a bit of fresh solder on here. Grab your long one. And we solder that to here. So I decided to put solder on the wires to start with, so it makes it easier for people. Add a bit of solder, new fresh solder. This, the blue one in this case. Later models, these were all red. Going to the PCB, they're all red. So put that onto there. When I get my hands going here, come on, someone solder. Okie dokie. Wires are out of the road. Soldering iron off. So basically, as you know, the trim pot is facing straight up, so it makes it very easy for adjustment. So basically, one final little test. Just double check that your PCB is not above the top of this front panel, otherwise when you put the lid on you are going to clean it up and break it and push it down and it'll hold the lid up and everything. So basically, with all that out of the road, we can then, that was a bad move, put it over that way. We're going to move that back a bit, find some power, make sure this is turned off, and there like that. And basically, it's probably going to lift him up because there's so much light shining in here. I might actually sit the cover on temporarily so we can actually see the LEDs shining. Of course, one screw doesn't want to participate over here. There we go. So there we go, it's there. So basically we can now turn him on, which is that way. And it is now definitely on. So basically you can't really see it because of the light. Oh, there we go. If I do that, the brightness at this present moment is about halfway. So with the lid on there, you can't do it with the lid. So if you can turn it, up or down. From this point, that's down that way. So I'll put the lid back over temporarily and see that it's down. And then if we turn it all the way up, we have that brightness. So there we go. So that is basically installed quite simple and very easy to do. Only problem is you need a soldering iron. I'm sorry about that, but it is what it is. If they made these wires a bit longer, I would have been cutting them and putting them straight in, but they ain't long enough, so that's how it's going to go. All goodskis. So basically we now have a yLED-ac, I think we're going to call it -HG for HyGain or something like that. So basically it's now installed. You can actually physically turn it back off again, I suppose. Do that, unplug, put your top casing back on, make sure this doesn't hit the top casing going on. If you push it all the way in, it should be all the way. You can do the sides back up again, and you're back up and running. Done. All good. That's about it. We shall see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.